My theory tells me that this and my theory tells me this. I don't care what your theory says. I don't have an experience with your theory. I have an experience with my God. And you can try to theorize yourself out of God all you want to, but I know in whom I have believed, and I am persuaded that He is able. Oh yeah, He. Oh yes. God, before the first blade of grass ever formed, He was still God. Before the first choir ever sang praises, He was still God by Himself. Before the angels ever were created, He was still God. Before the world was created, He was God. Before the heavens were created, He was still God. Before there was a Moses, He was still God. Before there was an Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, He was still God. God, the self-existent one, the all-knowing one, the all-powerful one, the one who is able to do anything but fail. Yeah, that's the one that is seated in the heavenlies. That's the one whose throne is established from generation to generation, and of His kingdom there shall be no end. He, that God, whose kingdom is always increasing. His kingdom is always getting larger, getting bigger. He's always doing something awesome. He's always doing something powerful. He's always doing something mighty. That's the one. He, the one who's never lost a battle. He, the one who's never been defeated. He, the one who never will be defeated. He is the one that sits in the heaven. He who has power over sickness. He that has power over death. He that has power over the angels. Oh God. He that has power over the devil and all the demon forces of hell. He with just one word can send the enemy fly. He, that one, that God that's sitting in the heavens. He is the one that has all authority. He is the one that is incapable of letting you down. He is the one that sits in the heaven. You've got to understand the God that you serve is incapable of failing. That's the one. He, Elohim, El Shaddai, Jehovah Jireh, my provider, Jehovah Rapha, my healer, Jehovah Sitkanu, my righteousness. He, oh yeah, El Shaddai, El Elyon, the Most High God, the ever exalted one, the one that is high and lifted up. He is the one that's in the heaven, the Lord of hosts. He is the one that's sitting in the heaven. He is the one that creates and commands the armies of heaven. He is the one, the Lord of glory, the King of kings, the Alpha, the Omega, the first and the last, the one who was and is to come. He is the one that is seated in the heavenlies. And I want you to pay attention to the fact that He is seated. God is so bad, He don't even have to stand up to fight the devil. He can walk up into the middle of a boxing room and sit down and look the devil square in the eye and say, right here, Jack, I got this one. Oh, what is that? Is that sickness? That's addiction? What? Bondage? No. He that is seated in the heavens. He sits high and He looks low, but He is concerned about the affairs of man. You see, we've got to understand something about the providence of God. We don't hear about providence very much anymore, but what providence is whatever God creates, God makes sure He puts a hand in that it will fulfill the purpose that He has created it to fulfill. That's the providence of God, that God is interested in you. God is interested in where you're at. He created you. And if He created you, that means He is interested in you and making sure that you fulfill the purpose that He intended for you. Lord have mercy. He that sits in the heavens. Oh, we've got to understand that He that sits in the heavens has a plan. And not only that, but He is not concerned about an overthrow. Governments might worry about overthrows, but God is not. He's not worried about a takeover because He knows He got this. You just need to tell a couple people right now, look at them and say, I don't know what it is you're going through, but God's got it. God's got it. God's got it. I know it looks bad right now, but God's got it. He ain't worried.